Hello, everyone, and good evening to everyone joining us around the world for the penultimate round of the Tillotson T4 Esports series. We're from Pro Kart Raceland, or Wackersdorf if you know it from there. It's the 21st of July. I'm Anthony Jordan, Simon Byford joining me in the commentary box once again for the penultimate round, and plenty of action coming up around this beautiful circuit. 1,190 metres in length, 11 corners, a very flat circuit, only 5 feet of elevation change, and of course running on the R Factor 2 platform, courtesy of KartSim, of course, with that as well. A little look at the weather that we've got lined up for this one as well. Pretty cloudy as well. Temperatures are pretty nice as well, so it should be a fairly good evening of racing, and we've got some good racing for you up the way. We've got 9 drivers going to be racing tonight, so only the 3 heats that we've got. So it'll be heat 1 10 minutes long, heat 2 10 minutes long, and the final 12 minutes long. But, ladies and gents, we have to remind ourselves of what we are racing for this evening. We are racing for the entry, of course, into the T4 Nations Cup, which will be taking part in Valencia at the end of September, beginning of October. And, of course, the winner from this can get an entry ticket into that one. Simon joining us in the commentary box. Simon, how are you this evening?
Well, long story, folks. I was meant to be commentating, but I forgot the cable for my microphone. So I'm very good, but somewhat disappointed because I'm not going to have the pleasure of sitting alongside Anthony and commentating with him. So Anthony is going to be in the commentary box today, and I'm going to come in between the races and give my take on things. But other than the extreme disappointment, I'm all right, Anthony. How are you?
No, not too bad, not too bad. Thank you very much. Gutted for that one. I have to say, I would lose my head if it wasn't attached, so don't worry. You're not alone on that one. I have forgotten a multitude of things in my past, including actually headphones themselves I've forgotten in the past. So, yeah, I can completely understand where you are. But what an amazing 5 rounds or 4 rounds we've had so far. We've got updated points. We know where people are going to be standing, because you've got to remember, drop scores come into play now in this championship. Only drivers get their top 3 best scoring rounds added, and they're the points that they get. So if they take part in all 6, 3 of those rounds don't even count. So it's still all to play for in this one. We had new drivers join for the last round that we had, and they still got the chance to score points in this one. And at the final round at Alhama, that's coming up soon in a few weeks' time. That will be based at the Finland circuit. Fabulous circuit is at Alhama, but we're not there right now. We're in Germany for Wackersdorf, and a brilliant circuit is Wackersdorf. I've never been personally to it myself, but I've seen plenty of racing there, and I have to say, it looks like quite a fast-flowing little circuit, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's going to be quite the contrast from Zuera last round, where it was very much a tactical, strategic battle, very much a momentum track, particularly in the T4. It's very fast and flowing. And now we come to Wackersdorf, and it is the complete opposite. It's tight, it's twisty, it's a lot shorter than Zuera. And yeah, I think we're in to see some great battles here.
Yeah, definitely. Zuera, a very fast circuit, but like you say, tricky to overtake, and we saw that on the previous round as well. But this one, lots of hairpins been included, some fast sweeping chicanes as well. But there is a look at some of the hairpins that you can see there. One note for change as well. Now, of course, a lot of people may be used to the older version of Wackersdorf, where you will have seen in between the turns 8 and 9, there was in past years chicane through there, but that's gone now. It's now just a straight through turns 8 into 9. Then it comes round in towards turns 10, 11 as they exit out back onto the start-finish straight. But I have to say, this circuit does look absolutely amazing for drivers to race on. And I've been watching the practices that have been out there so far today, and I have to say, people look pretty quick out there. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is race time already. The first heat is gridding up, so we're going to be back in a short moment for heat number 1. Well, there we go then. The first heat is upon us. And ladies and gentlemen, do get your comments in. Let us know who you are supporting. We'd love to hear from you. I have got the commentaries in the comments in the commentary box. Here's a look then at the starting grid for Heat 1. Henry Foote and Calais Atkins will start on row 1. Rory O'Shea, who's currently our championship, or second in the championship, with how many points? 116 points. James Bellers alongside Adrian Janeski there, and Zane Khan on row number 3. Josh Palfrayman and Flynn McClumpher on row 4. Row 5 is Harry Maynard and Daniel Amore. Row 6, Nathan Maximum and Ty Cuthbert will round out row number 6. So 12 names on that one, so hopefully a couple more drivers have been added into this, which will be absolutely amazing if they had there. You can see the karts lined up then on the starting grid, and we said like the undulation changes that we've got out there for about 5 feet, and most of it is actually through this first section here. And this camera angle really shows it at the start of this race. Through turns, well, you could call it turns 1 and 2, but it goes very uphill. But as the timer strikes down towards 10 minutes, lights are out and we are off and racing. Heat 1 for round 5. Who is going to take the Heat 1 win? Great start then from the entire of the grid. They go through this section, absolutely pinned through here, absolutely nailed. No need to lift off whatsoever. But Zane Khan has got a much better start and sweeps into the lead straight away. Now Rory O'Shea, he's there in second place. This is crucial because he's, like we say, second in the points, Daniel. Daniel Amore is leading the points at the moment, 125 points. Where is Daniel at the moment? Currently 7th place. So this is not what Daniel needs. He's going to need to make up spaces very, very quickly. But as they go through, this is a very tidy start then from all the drivers. They come through the midsection. We're through turn 7 now, down in towards the turn 8 hairpin. They'll come back on themselves. This is where the old chicane will have been, and now it's just a straight run down towards the next hairpin of turn 9. They exit out of that one now, back into the very fast triple apex corner, I would say, of turns 10 and 11. Out they go, back across the start-finish line, and look how close it is here for second place. Nathan Maximum all over the back of Rory O'Shea as they go in towards turns 1, and again, O'Shea not managing to close in too much on Zane Khan. Will get the move done, but keep an eye. Here comes Calais Atkins. Atkins wanting to get in on this battle as well. As a little bit of jostling here. Maximum struggling, and it looks like Calais Atkins is either alongside or is trying to get past, trying to get the switchback maneuver here as they go through turns 5 and 6. And again, not managing to get it done, but very, very close here for the top 4. Already a breakaway, so it's Khan leading from O'Shea, Maximum, Atkins still there in P4. That's the top 4 breakaway. Then it's Palfrayman, Daniel Amore, Flynn McClumpher, Henry Foote, Ty Cuthbert, the 9 drivers out on circuit. There's a look at a little intermediate class there of how close it is between these drivers. Absolutely nothing. This is brilliant stuff. 8 minutes to go then of this first heat. And where is Zane Khan in the point standing? He's actually 9th overall with the drop scores. He's got 68 points, but of course I can't remember how many rounds that Zane's been involved in, but never mind that, because Rory O'Shea's just come back for the race lead. But Zane Khan fighting back straight away, not letting O'Shea breathe, and Atkins coming in once again, but is now under pressure from Maximum. Maximum takes the position, moves up into P3. Concertina effect kicks in as they all break for the very sharp chicane of turn 7. Again, nice wide entry line, late curb, late apex there. Everyone hugging that inside line. Oh dear me, and Maximum and Atkins went wide there to get the cut back. Unfortunately, they got tangled up with each other there, but Maximum with the move here on O'Shea gets it done, and O'Shea from 2nd to 4th just in one corner alone. Now that just shows really what potentially you could see in the final later on today, with drivers making that last ditch attempt move out of the final corner. And again, look at that lovely switchback there from O'Shea to try and get that race lead back from 4th. Has got 2nd and a well, that's a very handy screen there getting in the way, hiding all the action behind it. So Khan's come out in front on that one, and look at this, the rest of the pack's closed in. Palfrayman's here, Daniel Amore's closed in as well. So with all that scrapping, that group of 4 is now a group of 6, and Rory O'Shea has now found himself at the back of it. So Khan, who's, like we say, currently 9th in the championship, currently sitting on 1st place. Calais Atkins, 5th in the championship for the time being. Good running so far from Calais. Currently P2, looking strong here. Maximum holding on to 3rd, looking like Maximum's going to go for a move here. Looked like he was going to go to the inside through turn 1, but that's a very bold move. Now here, the switchback maneuver. Oh, crikey, as Calais Atkins now takes the race lead. And looking there like Maximum with some troubles, has Pal Freeman down the inside, and both of them off the circuit, cutting the track. Oh dear, and round goes Pal Freeman. Josh Pal Freeman now all the way down into P7 and has got all that work left to do, and I think with 5.5 minutes to go, that's going to be a very tall order now because it's starting to really heat up at the front. Top two with a clean breakaway, Atkins and Khan. Atkins coming through quite nicely in this one. Had a bit of a shaky start. Held it in fourth, held his own. Khan having a good year in real-life karting as well as his sim karting as well. He's had several victories in the British Kart Championships. As back down the inside there goes Daniel Amore. Again, crucial, current championship leader, needs those points. Of course, maximum points a driver can earn through a round is 50 points. And so far, maximum points have been earned by several different people, at least 4 different winners. Maximum 50 points was Daniel Callier in round 1. Round 2, Callie Atkins took it. Round 3 was Daniel Amore, and round 5 with Rory O'Shea. We go on board with Zane Khan on the number 4 kart, currently in P2, and as you can see there, Callie Atkins looking very comfortable. The trick with sim racing, ladies and gents, is nice and smooth. You've got to be careful with these, because if you push it too hard, you will just make mistakes left, right and centre, so you have to watch out. If you hit a curb too hard, it will unsettle the kart and you lose all momentum. You turn too sharp into a corner, you scrub all your speed. Hit the accelerator too early, the back end steps out, you lose momentum. Lots of factors in this. And again, looking like Atkins has got this comfortably in the bag. Here's a look a little further behind. This is the battle for 3rd place. Daniel Moore, O'Shea and Maximum. Maximum at the back of this group, O'Shea in the middle and Moore leading the trio. Now hopefully they are hoping to work together to close up that gap, but that doesn't look like working together to me, because O'Shea wants that 3rd place spot, and rightly so as well. O'Shea second in the point standings, needs to get past Amore, and looked like he was going to go down the inside there. Failed to get it done as Daniel Amore closes the door. Oh, that rhymes as well. There we go. Going to use that as well. But 2 minutes to go, or 2.5 minutes. And, oh, look at that. That's Daniel Amore very wide there out of turn 6, using all the track available. The gap currently about 2.12 seconds is the battle between Daniel Amore and Zane Khan. So a bit of time to gain. Back at the front here. And again, gap looks like it's opening up about 0.4 of a second, but Khan really closes it up through that first section. So slipstream coming into effect. You don't get much of a slipstream here at Wackersdorf. It is quite a compact circuit. It is quick circuit, but you're on the throttle for a short amount of time, and then you're instantly on the brakes. Then it's hairpin. Back on the power. Right-hander. So lots of action, no real time to rest at this circuit. And this one that they're coming into now, turn 7, very tricky corner. It looks like a very inviting fast chicane, but it actually slightly comes back on itself. So you have to watch out for that one. So easy to go in too fast, and you can lose all momentum. And that is a crucial corner as well, because the run down into turn 8 is quite a long one as well. So very easy to line up a move through 7 and in towards turn 8. But 1 minute 20 seconds left on the timer. The gap is not closing. So Atkins and Khan are going to be fighting for the lead. This one is the fight for 3rd, and it's a change for 3rd as O'Shea goes down the inside at turns number 2, and again Maximum getting it done as well. So Daniel Amore struggling here. Back down now into P5. Rest of the field as well. McClumpher still there in 6th place. Pal Freeman not being able to make any more positions after his spin earlier on. He's still there in P7. Henry Foote had a bit of a quiet race, currently in P8, and Ty Cuthbert rounding out the 9 karts currently. But everyone's seemingly on pace. It just looks like the mistakes have come in left, right and centre, which is understandable. I mean, these drivers are very quick in real-world karts, but trying to transform that across into sim racing, there are the difficulties. Most of the action that you feel is through your backside, but down here now, Maximum for P3, and O'Shea's got to be careful here because O'Moore's going to go through as well, and he does. So O'Shea now back down in towards P5. Timer strikes 0 now. So checker flag will be out this time. And I have to say, Calai Atkins has pulled away from Zane Khan, because there is Zane Khan just ahead. So Zane's probably just thought, no, you know what, I can deal with second place. I'll bring it back now. And I'll take the crucial points for P2. But like we say, this is looking good for Calai Atkins. Like I say, currently 5th in the point standings, 90 points after the drop scores, but there's the checker flag. He'll add more points then to the tally. As he'll cross the line, Calai Atkins will take the heat win from Zane Khan, and Nathan Maximum will take P3. So managed to come back there on the last lap, getting past Rory O'Shea and Daniel Amore. And that, again, a very close race between our top drivers. But I have to say, a well done to Calai Atkins on that one, because that was a tough old race. Didn't start at the front, had to work through to get there. But I have to say, did a fabulous job in doing that task. And I have to say, that was quite a nice, clean first race that we've had there. It's looking good for what's going to be happening in Heats 2 and the final coming up a little bit later on this evening. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gents. We'll be back in just a moment's time.
We're here testing today the Tillotson T4 kart in Lelystad in Holland. This is our new project which Tillotson have created, aimed to create an affordable karting category. We're having huge success. We started the project in Ireland, and this year we're starting in Holland, Belgium, UK, the USA, and amongst lots of interest from other countries. And we're building towards the T4 World Finals in Italy at the end of this year, so we're excited for a good season.
first heat that we just saw out there. Of course, only 9 drivers, but they did give us a pretty good race, I have to say, for that one. Simon, firstly, what did you think to that one? Because I thought pretty clean out there.
It was pretty clean in comparison to what we've seen in other races this year that have been quite eventful in many other ways. But yeah, really, well, you know, I'm not biased or anything, but you know, we all saw it. We shan't mention it. But yeah, really great racing throughout there. Great battle at the front. Atkins doing a fantastic job holding off Zane Khan there. Nathan Maximin doing a fantastic job to grab P3. And yeah, just fantastic racing throughout that 10 minutes, right from start to finish. Battles at the front, battles in the midfield, sometimes coming together and forming a 6 or 8 car battle. I have to say, though, it was a very poor heat for Henry Foote, going from pole position down to 8th. That was not a great day for Henry Foote, and he's going to be looking to do a lot better in heat number 2.
I suspect so. We'll keep a very close eye on him. But of course, yeah, it just shows. I mean, that pretty much happens. Like that looked like a bog standard kart heat to me. You know, even in real life, you know, you would see leaders break away quite early, and then they would battle, and then the pack closes up again, and then it all kicks off again, and then it opens up again. So, you know, that was pretty close to what we'd expect in real life racing, which is absolutely amazing to see. But I have to say, going into Heat 2, do you reckon drivers are going to switch it up a bit? Because we saw a lot of crucial overtakes here, there, and everywhere, didn't we?
We did, yeah. It was very interesting watching it, having the championship standings in front of me and seeing who was in front of who was passing who, what impact that might have in the championship. And I think the drivers, it's been sent to the Discord, the championship standings. I think they're all going to be very, very conscious going into this, which is the second to last round of the championship, the championship points and who they need to finish ahead of. I think they're going to be very, very conscious of that. And obviously Heat 2 is the last of the heats. Then we're into the final. That's where they score the big points. So they're going to be wanting to set themselves up. And I have a feeling they're going to take the approach of whatever means necessary, even if it means having a bit of a fight, a bit of a shunt, possibly. We saw that with Palfreyman and Maximin getting a bit too close for comfort there in the one. And I think we might see a bit more of that in Heat 2, but I'm going to cross my fingers and say hopefully it's all clean racing from here on in.
Well, let's hope so, because, I mean, that racing there, that was pretty good to watch. You know, when drivers actually race it properly and have a nice, clean race like that, it does make it excellent for the viewers at home, for the racers themselves as well, and for everyone else. I'm sure Race Control like it as well when it's a nice, clean race. They don't have any work to do, so they can just sit back, relax, have whatever they fancy, a mojito. I don't know what Race Control are having tonight, but it could be a mojito. We're not too sure. But yeah, like you say, championship standings so crucial. Let's say we've got them in front of us here. Daniel Amore leading them after the drop scores, 125 points in total, but not the best result in that race, was it? He really struggled. So, you know, he's got to try and fight back. Didn't have the greatest start, but what do you reckon we're going to see from Amore in this one?
Well, he finished P4 in that, and behind him in the standings, he has what is that? 1-point lead, Rory O'Shea, who finished one position behind. Damage limitation from Amore in Heat 1, but I don't think he's going to be wanting to be scoring another P4 in Heat 2, because that's really not going to put him in a good place for the final. And the final, obviously 50 points up for grabs and for the win. And then for P2, I think it's 45. So, you know, 5 points when you have a 9-point lead, it's not that much. It can disappear very, very quickly. I think another great battle that we're going to be seeing is Rory O'Shea, P2 in the standings, and Daniel Kelleher, P3, only separated by 2 points, 116 points versus 114 points. That's going to be a really interesting battle to look out for in Heat number 2. Let's take a look at where they finished. Rory O'Shea, as I said, was in P5. And, well... Daniel Kelleher,
he's not here. He's not here tonight. He's not racing.
Not here.
So
he's not here.
But the crucial thing is that he has done 3 rounds and he has scored. Well, he scored fairly all right. I mean, he got 50 points for the first round. He got 40 for round 2. He got 20 for round 3, and he got 24 for round 4. So, you know, he's had some fairly good, but I think he needs to do one more round to have 3 good scoring rounds, because 2 of those aren't too great. So, is he going to take part in Alhama, the last one that's coming up near the end of August? I think 18th of August is that round. But, yeah, I mean, he's got good points. but he's not there on drop scores. If he wants to get that ticket to go to the Nations Cup in 2022, I reckon he's going to have to do one more, and that's the crucial part, I think.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I'm just going to be looking out for Rory O'Shea and seeing what he can do, because obviously he's competing. It's going to be a good day for him if he can score some really, really good points. And he's going to leave it all on the table for Daniel Kelleher to have to do when we come to Alhama. It is going to have to be a must-take part round for Kelleher in Alhama if he wants to score, any points really, and like you said, get a chance at the T4 Nations Cup drive. The top two in the championship are the ones that win the drive, and a battle for P2. Needless to say, someone has to lose it, and I have a funny feeling that neither of them want to. So it's going to be a very, very interesting battle in that respect. I also think that it's going to be interesting to see what Atkins can do, because he had very, very strong pace there, started P2, and then pretty much dominated the entire race. He's currently sat P5 in the standings, and we have to say he's pretty much dominating the competition. He was fastest in the practice sessions, and he's going to be looking to score some real points. And sat on his 90 points at the minute, he has a really good chance of scoring some big points and shuffling up the order.
He definitely has indeed. Well, Heat 2 is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Simon, for your time in that one. We'll be talking to Simon a little bit later on this evening, but we'll head back to the circuit. Round 2, or Heat 2, is coming up in just a moment's time. Well, there we go then. The drivers will be getting themselves lined up and ready for the second heat of the evening. And as we talk about championship points, like we say, it is starting to hot up out there. Ty Cuthbert and Nathan Maximum will start on that front row. Daniel Amore and Harry Maynard will start on row number 2. Don't believe Harry's in this one at the moment. Flynn McClumpher and Josh Palfayman will round out row number 3. Zane Khan, and I don't believe Adrian is here on the grid. James Bell also not a show in this one. Rory O'Shea is, though. He'll start on the 5th row. Calais Atkins, long way back, but he's got Henry Foote for company. Hopefully Henry Foote can have a better start this time. If he can latch onto the back of Calais Atkins, they might be in for a chance of a 1-2 in heat number 2. But we'll find out in just a moment's time as the karts will line themselves up on the grid to get this race underway. Lights out, we're off and racing, 10 minutes, and here we go. And again, another good start here for the pack. Oh, someone getting jumped up into the air there. I believe that was Nathan Maximum, who's now dropped down into P3, P2, so still there at the moment, but absolutely sent by Daniel Amore. Daniel wants that P2, and who wants that race victory. Yellow in Sector 1, so someone has gone for a spin. But it clears, so everyone back going now. So Zane Khan with the early breakaway, but Daniel Amore there in P2. Current championship leader needs to score big here. So it's Khan from Amore. Maximum there in 3rd, and someone in the barriers. Who was that? That was Maximum. Nathan Maximum in the barriers. 3rd place finish in Heat 1, now at the back of the grid in Heat 2. And that is going to need to be quite a recovery drive to gain any sort of places for a good start in the final later on. And pitting straight away. Who's pitting there? I'm not quite sure who that was. It is... Oh, it's Henry Foote. No, it's not Henry Foote. That's Harry. It's just Harry. I don't know what Harry it is. It's just got Harry. All right, Harry. There we go. Harry pitted. Sorry about that. There we go. Side-by-side action there a little further up because Daniel Amore's just taken the race lead. So Zane Khan now back into P2. This is allowing Rory O'Shea to close in as well with these two scrapping. Harry's back out on circuit. All right, Harry. Back with O'Shea. And so it's Harry Maynard who's joined us there. There we go, that makes sense. Harry forgot to put his last name on the sim. Oh dear, never mind. Here we go then. Side by side for the race lead. Khan on the outside, Amore on the inside. Watch out because O'Shea's going to have the inside too. And coming in towards turn 2, he's going to hold that inside line, but Khan holds it round the outside. He'll have the inside line going here, and despite O'Shea's best efforts of gaining second place. Zane Khan said no and holds on to P2, but Daniel Amor now leads the way. Crucial for the points and crucial for his starting position in that final. Like we say, 50 points up for grabs in that final. Where's Calai Atkins in this one? Oh, Calai's had a good run, currently up into P4. So if these three really start to scrap, Calai, well, there he is, closing in from the back of the grid. Fourth place, Calai Atkins, looking strong here. Now, to update everyone on points now, you've been thinking that Calai's fifth in the point standings. He's only got 90 points, but he's only done 2 of the current 4 rounds that we've had, and he's earned pretty good points. He's had 50 points total score for his second round, so round 2 scored the maximum points, scored 40 points in round 1, and then obviously the 0 points for rounds 3 and 4. So if he can gain maximum points here, he'll be looking fairly comfortable for this race. We go on board with Atkins, slowly closing in. Keep an eye on that gap. Currently 1.5 seconds from this group of 3 who are currently leading. Pal Freeman still there in 5th place. Henry Foote, much better start from Henry Foote this time around. P6 from the back of the grid. Ty Cuthbert there in P7. Harry Maynard there in 8th place. Ben McComfer and Nathan Maximum. So an extra driver joining us in this one in the shape of Harry Maynard. But nice run here. Group of 3. Linus Stern there. Nothing between the 3. And just watching these racing lines here, they're keeping Calai Atkins at bay because that gap it's fluctuating, but it's still around the 1.5 second mark, I have to say. 5.5 minutes to go. These 3 working well together. As soon as they start battling, though, keep an eye on Atkins because he will close in. Of course, the top 2 in the championship getting those tickets to the Nations Cup in Valencia, and a little wide there from Khan. O'Shea is going to take the opportunity here down the inside, going in towards turn 10. Hasn't got the waft. Has to stay behind. But again, it just shows a little bit wide of a corner, and you can completely expose your inside line there to an attack. And we've seen the move been done through turn 10, and look at that slipstream come into effect. Daniel Amor, absolutely nothing he can do. Has to hold his racing line. No one goes for the move, which is good. And Amor knows then that Khan isn't going to lunge for the lead. Wants to work together. Atkins is catching, though. 1.2 seconds now is the gap between Atkins and O'Shea in P3. That will have been caused by Khan running a little bit wide out of turns number 9, which is this corner that we are at now. Lot tighter this time around. Slotting in positions. Pal Freeman's still there in 5th place. We go on board with O'Shea. And watch the slipstream here. They'll tuck in and watch the gaps just close up. Slowly reeling in Khan and Amor, but crucially not going for the move. Not close enough for one. And secondly, knowing that points are key in this one. Your starting position for the final is key. If you can get on that front row, you're in a good stead for taking the win. And whoa, so much curb there through turn 7. Back down now into turns 8. Positive camber as they hit the apex there through 9. Looks like slightly negative camber as they exit out of that one. Up the little mound and then round the final corner. Very fast final corner. Absolutely nailed through there. Much momentum as you can as they go through a lovely onboard lap there of the Wackersdorf circuit. So Amor holding on to the lead. Nothing happening between these 3 and a bit of coming together there. A bit late on the brakes there was O'Shea. And Atkins now really starting to close in. This looks more like a group of 4 now. All 4 karts in the same camera shot. And we could see a scrap here. 2.5 minutes to go. And they're even the software thinks this is the battle for first for karts. Line astern, we go on board with Zane Khan in second. Finished second in Heat 1 as well, and of course 2 second place finishes is good for the heats. It will mean you're going to be starting nicely for the final. And maybe Khan knows that. Maybe Khan won't go for the move. Thinking, you know, I had a P2 in the last one. Daniel Moore, you know, he finished P4 in Heat 1, so he'll be happy with a P1. And I think that Zane Khan, again, is just aware of that, you know, finished P4. I don't need to worry about him being in front of me. I'll still be in front. I've had 2 P2 finishes. On board there with Atkins. And again, you can visibly see that gap is closing in. Timer is running out, though. 1 minute 30 seconds. If these drivers don't start scrapping, it's bad news for Atkins. Atkins needs to catch up to this group and maybe force the defensive line to come out from O'Shea. Again, look at this. Good run there from Khan. Braking really early, though, looking like he wants to get the switch back, but couldn't quite do it there out of 2. No lunges there, just again super glued to the back of a Morse kart. And now it is a group of 4. Atkins has closed in. Now is Atkins going to keep this momentum and go straight in towards hairpin number 8 on O'Shea? O'Shea does slightly go defensive there. That's going to compromise his line on the exit now. You'll see Khan and Amor break away. And Atkins will slowly get that position gained, and 30 seconds left to go. They'll be going on to the last lap this time around. Lap times out there are around the 55-second marker. Calais Atkins with the fastest lap of the race and sets a new fastest lap of the race. That lap alone, 55.870 from Calais Atkins, and O'Shea goes defensive. O'Shea goes defensive, and Atkins round the outside will have the optimal line as they go through turns 3 in towards turn 4, and he's done it. Atkins now into P3. Khan will see this and think, I'm going to need to react now, because if Atkins comes through, P2 and P3 is not what I want. So Khan's going to have to go for the move here on Amor. The timer strikes 0. Only 2 more corners to go in towards turn 9, and here goes Atkins on the outside. 3 wide now for second place, and well, O'Shea's got the optimal line here. O'Shea down the inside gets his nose closed off, but Amor's going to take the win, and it is going to be Khan who takes second from Atkins and O'Shea. So Daniel Amor now with a race win, looking comfortable for his final, but I have to say, Zane Khan with another second place is also looking very fast around here. But Calais Atkins, P3 from the back of the grid. He scored highly in his first 2 rounds in this championship. And now he's finishing P3 there, and that's going to line him up nicely for the rest of the field. But the rest of the field as they go through, Harry Maynard finished in P5, so good result there for Harry Maynard. Flynn McClumford took 6th place from Ty Cuthbert, Henry Foote, Josh Balframan and Nathan Maximum at the back of the grid after that early on crash. What can we see from the final? We'll find out in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back after this short ad break.
We can't manufacture your victory or distill your determination. We harness powerful natural resources to unlock true human potential.
Make sure to follow Tillotson on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and TikTok. The T4 Esports series first premiered last year in the weeks leading up to the World Cup, after more than 2 years being developed by Tillotson crew in cooperation with Kart Sim. The idea for a virtual T4 kart and later the T4 Esports series came from a desire to give existing T4 drivers a platform to practice on away from the track, to give those unable to race in real life the chance to do so virtually, and to give sim racers the chance to test their virtual skills in real life karting. It's for this reason that Tillotson are offering 2 tickets to compete in this year's Nations Cup, valued at €2,500 each. Tillotson's ethos of making T4s accessible to anyone can be seen in the real-life T4 package, which has been made as accessible as possible, making almost everything in-house. It's this fact that means that the T4 package is not just financially affordable, but accessible to those just starting out in karting who aren't as familiar, maybe, with how to run a kart as more experienced racers. This, as well as tightly regulating how the kart can be set up, means that Tillotson has been able to offer the close racing that the T4s provide at an extremely reasonable price. This accessibility is what has led to the T4 series becoming a go-to series for both novices and experienced racers in more than 25 regions worldwide. Let's take a look at those prices. Starting is always the most expensive part of racing, however Tillotson have made every effort to make taking up T4 racing as affordable as possible. It's important to remember that the equipment required for starting can be used for multiple years, or if money requires it, can be bought second-hand. In the case of minis, the cart and trolley can be found being sold second-hand as drivers graduate up into the junior category. The nature of the series also means that second-hand equipment depreciates in performance and value very little, meaning a kart can still be capable of being fast and winning races, even if it's not new. To buy everything new, however, will come with an initial cost of roughly €4,720 for minis and around €5,500 for juniors and seniors, including VAT. The cost of running a T4 kart over a season is also remarkably low. In a sport where the cost of running a kart can run into 5 or 6 figures per season at national and international levels, Tillotson have estimated a T4 junior or senior kart can be run for just over €4,000 per season. This includes entry fees, which may vary between regions, and a €1,000 damage allowance. So, if you're a careful driver and treat the kart well, this total could be significantly lower. With the T4 series expanding constantly, it's only a matter of time before there's one where you are. Until then, why don't you jump on Kart Sim and practice in our virtual T4s while you wait. Tillotson has been fueling innovation for more than 100 years, and we're continuing that tradition by expanding our product range consisting of Tillotson carburetors and engines, the T4 kart packages and PVL ignition coils, to include Tidal Sport products, because Tillotson are now the Irish importer for Tidal Sport. Developed alongside Conor McGregor, Tidal plant-powered cryotherapy spray is a revolutionary new pre- and post-workout recovery spray to rejuvenate your joints and muscles. Go to tillotson.ie/shop to get yours today.
Back in the virtual commentary box, ladies and gents, after 2 heats of racing, we've seen some fabulous stuff out there. Simon, once again, some pretty epic racing. I have to say, there are some drivers out there who are looking pretty dangerous.
Yeah, it really was fantastic. Like I said, very, very tactical racing, very strategic all the way through the 10 minutes. Really, it's a 3 or 4 horse race in the finals. Amor, Khan, Atkins, O'Shea doing really well for themselves. And unfortunate to see Maximin with that incident at the start crashing out. He's going to be down the grid for the finals. But as we saw, Atkins, he went from the back of the grid to P3 in the end. So if you have a bit of pace, there's nothing to say that you can't recover in the final. Obviously, the final is longer, another 2 minutes. You know, what can Maximin do if needs be? It's going to be very, very interesting to see.
It will be indeed. And of course, if Atkins can get away with maximum points at the end of this one, that's going to put him in a good spot there. Another 50 points on top of that one. It's going to be a nice position after just the 3 rounds. So nearly maximum points throughout the entire championship. So Callum Atkins really won one of the favourites out in the championship, and he's missed 2 rounds. So there we go. It just shows that just those 3 point scoring rounds, you could still win an entry ticket into that Nations Cup final. But a little bit more about these karts, of course, as well, because these karts are derived from real world karts. Tillotson T4 have done a lot of work with the kart sim platform, running the 225cc Tillotson T4 kart, and again, fabulous engine. I had the pleasure of test driving one of these at Wilton Mill, and I got to say, brilliant kart, and drove it alongside with the sim, and I have to say, very similar lap time. So I think the guys at T4 and Kart Sim have done a pretty solid job at replicating it.
Yeah, I was thinking, didn't you say in a previous stream that it was something like half a tenth different between the real world and the sim?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
It goes to show, obviously, 2 years this has been in development with Kart Sim and with Tillotson. Andrew Fallon has been flying back and forth between the UK and Ireland, doing a huge amount of work, getting the sim version as close as it can be to the real life version. And it just goes to show you can have these battles in the sim and you can have these battles in real life. And it wouldn't look out of place seeing what we've just seen on a real life track, say at the World Cup or at one of the national championship rounds in one of the 25 countries where the T4s are run. It is about as close as you can get to the T4s as anyone has ever got with any kart in any simulator. It really is a fantastic piece of equipment to train on and just to have a bit of fun on, and possibly to win a drive at the Nations Cup on.
Yeah, and I'm sure 500 plus other drivers from those 25 nations would agree with you as well. So, you know, it is an absolutely fantastic array of countries and drivers who are involved with the Tillotson package. And I have to say they've picked a pretty good one to be involved in. And like you say, seeing this sim racing here tonight, I think we're going to see a couple more drivers joining that family of drivers as well.
Well, it certainly wouldn't surprise me, because the T4s are, certainly in my opinion at least, the best form of motorsport that you can get into, whether you're a veteran or just starting out. It is incredibly affordable everywhere, and you know, it's a great atmosphere. I was at the World Cup last year, and I have to say, fantastic family atmosphere about the grid and the paddock. It really is such a great place to be around a T4 paddock. And also, it's got a certain je ne sais quoi about it. I can't quite put my finger on it. It's not an atmosphere. It's not the price. It's not something you can put your finger on. It's just something special about the T4s.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to find out who is going to potentially join those drivers at the Nations Cup in just a moment. It's the penultimate round. It is the final. It's coming up next. There we go. The final is upon us, and we're going to find out who is going to be gifted those 50 points. Let's find out where people are going to be starting. Zain Khan with the minimum amount of points with his second place and two second place finishes starts on pole position. Daniel Amore will start on P2, and Callie Atkins will start on P3 on the second row with Flynn McClumfer alongside. So crucial there, very close in the points. Who is going to come away with that victory? Rory O'Shea will start on the third row with Nathan Maximum. Despite the fact that he had that spin in Heat 2 and finished at the back of the grid, it's still coming through. He's on the third row, so still a bit of work ahead, but in a good spot still. Josh Balframan will start alongside Ty Cuthbert on row number 4. Harry Maynard and Henry Foote will round out the top 10 drivers on row number 5. And I have to say, we're going to see some absolutely fabulous driving from these 10 drivers in this one. Get your comments in. Who are you going to, or who do you think is going to take the final win in round number 5 of the Tillotson T4 Esports series here at Wackersdorf? It's going to be an absolutely fabulous race, and these drivers are going to give us the best 12 minutes of racing I think you'll ever see. So let's see what is going to happen. The karts lining themselves up on the start-finish line. The stands are filled with the virtual spectators They look a bit flat there, but I'm sure they're hyped with anticipation at the side of the track here. Marshall's primed and ready. Drivers primed and ready, and the Wackersdorf circuit looking fabulous in the sim racing world, and of course in real world as well. I've only seen it from Google Maps and on live streams, but here we go then. 2 seconds and 12 minutes of racing brings us the final for round 5, and it's a good start from the front row. It's a better start from the second row. Alex O'Grady and Daniel Moore holding on to that one. Alex O'Grady now at the back of the grid, not sure where he appeared from, as one kart off onto the banking there, and karts off left, right and centre. I think one of them was Henry Foote. I think one of them was Zane Khan. It was Zane Khan to the back of the grid. Flynn McClumpher also a driver involved. So it was McClumpher and Khan who went to the back. So Zane Khan, who started on pole position, now all the way at the back of the grid, and his points standings are going to be shaken up here. But Daniel Moore now leads the way halfway through lap number 1. Maximum with a much better start is there now in P2. Crucially though, Calai Atkins still there in P3 with a breakaway and a cone going off in the background there from Harry Maynard there. I'm sure Harry will apologise to that cone later on this evening. I'll make sure that happens as Rory O'Shea now takes P4, and we'll have to close up into the back of these two. And look at the momentum here that Atkins has got. We go on board and round the outside, gets the switchback. Is it 2 for 1 special? It is. Atkins from third to first through turn number 3 gets it done. Lovely stuff, and this is what we see from Calai Atkins in the real world and in sim racing. Let's look at that again. Got the switchback here as Maximum covered off the attack from a Moore. And there we go. Just thought, well, there we go. Atkins will have that one. Maximum's closed up, and I have to say, Daniel Moore has broken off slightly. So current championship leader down in P3, struggling to keep up now, is closed in now by Rory O'Shea and Harry Maynard. Pal Freeman still there in 6th place, has managed to close up a couple of positions. Cuthbert still there in 7th. Henry Foote up into 8th place. McClumpher in 9th. Zane Khan still out there, but currently P10. This is the battle for 4th place. O'Shea and Harry Maynard. Maynard at the rear of these two karts. Harry, who joined us late on, couldn't do the practice. He said, oh, I might make it for Heat 1. Unfortunately, he missed Heat 1 as well, so only had Heat 2 to play with. Back at the front here, Atkins under pressure from Maximum. Maximum, good recovery drive from his second heat, of course. Crashed out at that corner we just went through, turn 8, the exit of turn 8. Collected the barrier and unfortunately did a full 180. And here's a good run here from Maximum, and I've just been told in my ears that the man you're looking at in second place, Nathan Maximum, has just received a 5-second time penalty. Now, was that for the start of the race involved with the incident with Zane Khan or McClumpher? But those two drivers did go off at the start. Was that because of contact between Maximum and those drivers? Race control will have the answer to that, but unfortunately I don't at the moment. So currently Calai Atkins is looking pretty comfortable. Now, what does Calai do in this sort of situation? I'm not sure that he'll be aware of the penalty. He might be. I'm not sure if Maximum has to serve that penalty during this race, or he'll be added on to his total race time at the end of the race. We'll have to see if Maximum pulls into the pit lane. Doesn't pull in this time around, stays there in P2. We'll go on board with Harry Maynard here, currently in 5th place. That's Rory O'Shea just up ahead. Now everyone seems to have opened up a little bit here. It's a much calmer second half of the race. The beginning of that final, bit scrappy as everyone was fighting for track position. But this is looking very good for Calai Atkins. took maximum points in round 2. What can he do in round number 5? Battle for 7th on your screens currently. McClumpher on the recovery drive. Currently in P7 has got Henry Foote in P6, just in front. And again, this is a good drive from Henry Foote. Struggled in the first heat. Coming back into it now, and of course, you may find a lot of these drivers will have raced here at the Wackersdorf circuit in Germany. And for the time being, everyone just primed and ready, nice and calm out there. So remind ourselves of the current championship standings with the drop scores, of course. These drivers with only their 3 best rounds totaled so far. Daniel Moore leads with 125 points from Rory O'Shea's 116. Daniel Kelleher has got 114 points, but is not here in this round. There's a change just up ahead there as McClumpher gets past Henry Foote. So we're on board with Ty Cuthbert here in P8. Having a good little run out there, good little scrap. Maximum currently 4th in the championship standings, 95 points, and with that 5-second time penalty, probably not going to be gaining any more at the end of this one. Calais Atkins 5th, 90 points. Looking to score maximum this time around. Flynn McClumpher in 6th place in the points from Luke Woodward, David Whitehouse, Zane Khan and Josh Balframan, the top 10 in the points standings. 5.5 minutes to go. Let us know who you are supporting in the commentary, and who's that? That's Ty Cuthbert in the barrier. And Cuthbert, who was looking so strong out there, running in P8, now sees himself down in P10 at the back of the grid. And has got all that work to do again, and that just shows it is so tricky out there. Drivers have to be so careful just to make sure that they don't overdrive the kart. It can very easily be done. We go on board with Rory O'Shea here in P4, and just look at the steering inputs that we see here from Rory. Barely moving the steering wheel. And again, you've got to get it set up on your racing sims at home. I tried karts in the past where I couldn't drive them because I had my steering set up for a car. So, of course, I would do a full 180 on the steering wheel thinking, oh, yeah, that would get me around. And, of course, it did a full 360 on the spot. So drivers have to set their sims up for these karts. And some of them have done an absolutely amazing job of that. But currently, as it stands, Callie Atkins still leading the way, is off the track there. Who was that? Was that Maximum? I think it was. Maximum now struggling, has dropped off the back of Atkins. And remember, Maximum has got that 5-second time penalty. So when Maximum's off and in the wall, and again what we saw in Heat 2. Now, was he helped there, or was that too much curb on the exit? Let's have a look what happened as he goes in towards turn 7. Tricky corner. Misses the curb, and I have to say, it looked like, well, you couldn't really tell from that angle, if I'm honest. I mean, Daniel Moore was just behind, but Moore took quite a bit of the curb, and I'm not sure if there was contact between the two of them. But I'm sure Race Control will be on that swiftly, because they have got about 1 million angles of every incident. They can see what was happening, they can see telemetry, they can see everything. So they will be on that one swiftly. So now this is the new battle for P2 between Amor and O'Shea. Harry Maynard there still in P4. Daniel Amor looking comfortable. Who's this who we're seeing here? This is Maximum on his recovery drive. Now luckily only fell back to 5th place, but with that 5-second time penalty, that will see Maximum dropping down probably to, well, potentially P10 or P9. P9 makes more sense, actually. Yeah, about there. But that's only if it stays how it is. Of course, if it changes, he could still finish in P5 if he can break away 5 seconds from McClumpher behind. Back on board with O'Shea here. Looking very racy for P2, and at the moment Atkins has checked out. Last 2 minutes of this race, and wow, O'Shea there down the inside of turn 7, tried to get that move done, and through turn 7, it's never going to work through there. You've got to set the card up through turn 7 to get the overtake done in turn 8, but he tried to get it done through turn 7, a very brave move. And it didn't pay off this time around. Hopefully he's not going to try it again, but he's got a good run out of here. Has got O'Shea into that slipstream. Amor covers the inside line as they go into turn number 1. Turn 1 very fast. You can hold your momentum, but you can expose yourself to an attack at turn number 2. But Amor holds on to it. This is good stuff from the current championship leader. But will he be championship leader at the end of this weekend? Because Atkins looking very comfortable. 4 seconds in the lead is Atkins. Maynard still there in 4th place. Maximum still there in 5th. McClumpher in 6th. Khan again making good positions up into P7. Pal Freeman still there in 8th, Henry Foote in 9th, Ty Cuthbert still in 10th place. And again, O'Shea is just trying every trick in the book here to get past Daniel Amor. And Amor is positioning that car perfectly, but O'Shea looking at the gap through turn 2. Amor closes it though. Slots back in. Through turns 4. The tight hairpin in towards 5 and 6, the double right-hander. Then into the tricky turn 7. This is where we saw O'Shea try and make the move earlier on. No move this time around. Timer strikes 0 though. Your current race leader, Calai Atkins. He scored 40 points in round 1. He scored maximum points in round 2. He's going to score maximum points in round 5 as he crosses the line. He takes the 50 points from Amor. O'Shea will take 3rd. Harry Maynard crosses the line to take P4. Where is Maximum? Here comes Nathan Maximum, but what's the gap between himself and McClumpher? It's not enough. It's not enough. It was just under 4 seconds, so he's going to drop down into P6. McClumpher will take 5th. Zane Khan finishes to take 7th place from Henry Foote, Ty Cuthbert and Josh Palfreyman rounding out the 10 carts. But Calai Atkins coming in strong. Maximum points, and I have to say, Simon, if you're joining us again at the end of that one, what a final that was, and what a drive from Calai Atkins. You know, he took that one to perfection. Absolute perfection from Atkins. No fault you can say from that one. He started from that second row, of course, started P3, so had that little bit of work to do, but managed to get it done, and beautiful overtakes, and I have to say, a well-deserved maximum points, I think, for him. It looks like we can't hear Simon for the time being, so hopefully you can hear us now. But yeah, Simon, if you we can hear you. There you are, perfect. So yeah, but like I say, maximum points there for Atkins. I have to say, looking comfortable going into the final round. But does he even need to do the final round?
Well, I mean, he's no worse off if he does do it. Sorry about that, folks. I had my my microphone muted. That was why you couldn't hear me. He's no worse off to do the final round, obviously. I mean, it never hurts. We saw how well he managed that race. So, you know, there's really no reason not to go into the final round and have a stab at winning that as well. It's never going to do your chances at the Championship. He's sitting, well, before this win, obviously, he was sitting in P5 with 90 points. That's been taken up to 140 points now, which is a very, very good amount to have. So if he pulls off a good result in the final round, it is very, very possible that he could win one of the drives at the Nations Cup. And that's going to be a very, very attractive prospect for Atkins, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, Atkins, a very skilled driver in the world of real-world karting. Of course, racing in the British Kart Championship, has won finals in the British Kart Championship, of course. So a very talented driver. So I feel like if you gave him that opportunity at the Nations Cup, I'm sure he'd be a very strong contender. So yeah, looking like someone to really watch out for there is Callum Atkins. But again, for the rest of the field as well, what a disaster for Nathan Maximum as well.
Yeah, it was a poor day all around from Maximin. Obviously, that 5-second penalty while in P2. He could have been challenging for the win and then having his incident later on as well. It's a day to thank for Zain Khan as well, finishing down in P7 from pole, 2 second places in the heat, and then P7 in the final. You know, it's a day of ups and downs, up and down the grid. But for Khan and for Maximin, it really is the final to forget. And they are going to have a score to settle, I'm going to predict, in the final round in Finland.
Yes, exactly. Alahama, the final round, round 6, will be taken to the track on the 18th of August. Make sure you don't miss it. All the action from there. Alahama, an absolutely amazing circuit, but I have to say, you're going to have to watch out for turn 1, because Alahama, that is that's... I don't know who designed that corner, but they need to be taken into a dark closet and been seen to. But yeah, it's a very horrible first corner. But yeah, I can't wait for that one. Simon, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Congratulations to all of our drivers taking part tonight. A huge congratulations to Callum Atkins taking the maximum points. But from us here at Tillotson and from alphalive, we'll see you at the final round in August.